this is where we're putting the chicken coop, and there's Steve. And we need a chicken coop, so we're going to make it out of things we have around the house. Right there, Steve's got a 4x16 foot cattle panel and 2 T-posts. And in a minute, you're going to see the 2 grandkids. They're going to pull it around and help bend it. And then they're going to flip it over, and we're going to attach it. Come on. Okay, there we go. Now, they're going to set it in place, and they'll make the T-post go down a little bit further in a minute, but first they've got to get it attached. They're going to attach it. I always say when all else fails, you just use duct tape, but they decided to use zip ties. So you can see right there, they're starting to zip tie the cattle panel to the T-post. I'm having a hard time saying that these days. And we're going to do this 3 times. They're going to they're putting the T-posts in. And then when they do each cattle panel, they zip tie the tops together as well to keep it as one structure. Again, we're going to do this 3 times, and we need a chicken coop, and so we're just making the chicken coop from things we found around the house, because right now we're trying very hard to stay home as much as possible. So Steve's explaining that we're going to do this 3 panels. What we wound up using was 3 4x16 foot cattle panels and 9 T-posts, but 1 T-post at each cattle panel on each side. Right here we're showing you that we're using, it's kind of like a plastic meshy, what would you call that, Steve? Chicken wire, but it's not wire, it's plastic, and it's meshy. And we're going to line the whole bottom of that. It's 3 foot high, go across the back, come down the side. Everything's being attached. We're using zip ties. I said we could use duct tape. They said to use zip ties. So that's what we're doing. Here we've got, well, you can see there's 5, but there's actually 7, because there's the other 2 to hold this all together. And we put a tarp over top. We also use that plastic mesh there to close in the front, and 2 more T-posts. That makes the 9 to attach an old storm door. You know what? Hold on to old storm doors. They work. And now we also use paracord to put around the tarp to make it snug.
To draw the tarp tight so
yeah.
It wouldn't flat.
And then you use paracord that you tied onto one of the cattle panels to make a loop for the door to keep the door snug. Now, what do we have? 18 chickens and a rooster in there?
18 hens and a rooster.
That's it. 18. And you can see the plastic mesh right there. We just zip tied everything together. You put in 4 cinder blocks, didn't you?
Yes, to give them some roosts rather than trying to attach roosts across the cattle panels without poking into the tarp. Put 4 cinder blocks in there and used an old piece of porch railing that we had when we did some remodeling, and just set it up there like that. They have roosts. There's enough roost space for them all to have room, a little bit extra. And it was already there. They call it upcycling these days.
We also put in a couple extra cinder blocks to put their food up so it's not on the ground, their tray. And one of the waterers one water that we have has
built-in legs.
built-in legs, so it's up. But the red one, we went ahead and put it up on a cinder block to try and help keep it clean from when they scratch. We also put up a couple of fly traps too. And in the back, this is where they finally listened to me. When all else failed, we couldn't get the back closed, so we duct taped it.